Maneva na sema PENDREAM TV. PENDREAM TV there osia dem yopo.
Good morning. He's watching us from the US. There's, of course, who says Kennedy Ejapon. He calls him the most dishonest person in Ghanaian politics. There's Kofi Simon, who says Solomon also has done very well. There's Yusuf Mohammed, says it's not surprising that USA and her Western allied countries should take sides with the Israelis to cause these atrocities in Palestine. This is because the US and her Western allied countries' ancestors did the same atrocities to the indigenes of America, Australia, New Zealand, and the rest of the lands the ancestors forcefully occupied. There's Musa Bato, who is commenting on the PC issue, the mining issue, the audacity of the Menfi NPP parliamentary candidate to make reckless statements about beating the military and the police stems from President Akufo-Addo and Vice President Bawumia's glaring lack of political will to combat illegal mining. Their complicity is evident, especially with Akonta mining owned by NPP, Ashanti Regional Chairman Wontumi continuing its illegal activities in the forest. The shadowy response by the military hierarchy only highlights this complicity further. Erasto Asari Donko's documentary clearly shows that illegal mining operations persist with impunity, undermining both the rule of law and the environment. Keep those comments coming in. Move to Honorable Samuel Okujeto Ablakwa for his thoughts on this issue. Honorable.
Sana, I have been asking myself since this video emerged that when did our country sink so low? When did impunity become so acceptable? Impunity that goes on without any response, without any consequence. I thought that since President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo declared to this nation that he is putting his presidency on the line, it is only one matter that the president has put his presidency on the line. He says, as for that matter, if he's no longer president, he doesn't care. It is the Galamsey matter. He has not put his presidency on the line on any other issue. Not corruption, not misgovernance, not killings, not human rights violations, not wastage, not lack of priorities. I mean, none of the ills of our society. But as for Galamsey, President Akufo-Addo, he called the media, called civil society organizations against the illegal small-scale mining menace and declared that this matter, we face an existential threat. Our river bodies are being destroyed. Our forests are being destroyed. We will no longer be alive if this continues. So not under my watch, not under my presidency. So you people can judge me on any other matter. But as for the Galamsey fight, I'm taking it up myself. And I am going to put my presidency on the line if I fail. Very, very strong words, poignant words, insightful statements from the president. So I thought that as soon as the video broke, that less than an hour, fortunately for this president who has made this bold statement, the people caught in the video are not people he doesn't have power over. It's not the IMF Director General who was caught in the video speaking and the president cannot deal with the IMF boss. It is not the United Nations General Assembly who is the United Nations Secretary General, I should say, who is appointed or not appointed by the president. And so the president doesn't have power over the UN Secretary General. It is not the African Union Commissioner. These are his Western Regional Minister, his MCE, and a parliamentary candidate who he can ask the party to discipline and even withdraw from the 2024 elections. To our utter shock, the president hasn't said a word, not a whimper. From a president who says that he is putting his presidency on the line on the matter of Galamsey. And this gentleman called Mr. Is it Ernest Frimpong? Ernest Frimpong. What did he say? Watch the video carefully. He is inciting illegal miners against soldiers of the Ghana Armed Forces. He says that if they come to disturb you, beat them up. He says the first thing you do is to beat them up, assault them. As you are beating them up, call us for reinforcement. We will come and join you to finish the task. We are setting up a platform. Regional minister will be there, MC will be there. So live monitoring. As soon as you start the beating of the soldiers, we will come and join you to finish them. Can you believe that? And the regional minister was sitting there nodding his head in his dark shades, nodding. He was so impressed. And after, I've seen another video where after he spoke and confirmed everything, didn't distance the administration, the Rêcklêss. And if you read the 1992 constitution, the regional minister is the head of Rêcklêss. All these soldiers who will go and work there are under the regional minister. They would have to take instruction from him. The regional minister is the one who chairs the Regional Security Council. The leader of the soldiers, the police commander, fire service, immigration, all of them will come and sit under his chairmanship. And this is the policy. Operation beat up any soldier who attempts to stop Galamsey. And the regional minister is still at post. More than a week now, the regional minister is still at post. The MC is still at post. Does that not confirm what our brother Solomon Usu is saying? That clearly this is the new NPP policy. Because in that video, this rogue parliamentary candidate, lawless parliamentary candidate, is heard saying that they have asked the soldiers to go back to the barracks. There is no more Operation Galamsey. You heard him saying that? Yeah. Sana, I have come here with an extract of the 2024 budget. As MPs in Parliament, we were asked to approve this money. Page 193 of the budget, Appendix 4A. Operation Vanguard, anti-Galamsey operations, and various Rêcklêss. Page 193. And the amount of money we approved, 2,880,000 Ghana cedis. So if we have approved this money, you came to us in Parliament that approved this money, Operation Galamsey, 2.88 million for the soldiers. Now the regional minister and his parliamentary candidate are declaring that the NPP policy is that there is no, we've stopped all these things. Where is our money? Who has the 2.8 million? Because Parliament has approved it. You have it. So where is our money? So you came to mislead us in Parliament. You came to deceive us. And we all came along. I remember, we even said that this allocation is too small. That you need more money. the energy we put into this, how we hurriedly approved. We thought we are all supporting the Galamsey fight. And they told us that, oh, it's possible that during the media review, we can come and ask for more money. Things are tough. Let's have this one for now. Not knowing we're being deceived. So why is the 2.8 million? Why is it? Why is it? Your parliamentary candidates, your regional ministers are saying that this is history. You are no longer doing these anti-Galamsey operations. So any soldier who shows up will be beaten. So where is our money? And why did you come to deceive us in parliament? Why did you come to waste our time? Why? Hey, what is happening in this country? What really is happening in this country? What at all is happening in this country? And then the Ghana Armed Forces. Such a matter that even those who don't wear uniforms, everybody is empathizing with you the soldiers. And in this country, check, from time immemorial, anytime there has been a survey on the most respected institution, the most revered institution, it is not even the clergy who come number one. It is not parliament. It has never been the presidency. It is always the Ghana Armed Forces. Check the polls. Check the Afrobarometer. Always, anytime, Ghanaians are asked. So we have always held our soldiers in high esteem. If anybody shows up with the Ghanaian soldiers' uniform, and it's not only in Ghana, all over the world. Read United Nations speeches by various secretary generals. Ghana is always top 10 when it comes to UN peacekeeping operations. Not only contributions of troops, but in terms of pedigree, reputation, and all of that. The Ghana Armed Forces has always been held in high esteem. So such a matter, where they are asking that your soldiers who are trying to help all of us, we are all worried about the fight against Galamsey. We all know how dangerous Galamsey is to our survival. You have overwhelming solidarity of all Ghanaians. Come and issue a statement to deal with the matter in a belated manner, many days after. You just come and sermonize to the whole world that you are advising all and sundry. Hey, who is this parliamentary candidate that the Ghana Armed Forces fears? Wow. Is this the same Ghana Armed Forces? Is this President Jerry John Rawlings Armed Forces? Flight Lieutenant Jerry John Rawlings Armed Forces? Is this the Armed Forces of Erskine? Is this the Armed Forces of Anyidoho? When even Canadian soldiers ran away from Rwanda. When American soldiers, French soldiers, ran away from the Rwandan genocide. Only Ghanaian soldiers stood, resisted. Is this the Ghana Armed Forces that stood up to Belgian troops in the Congo in 1960? I am so appalled. I can't believe this. Our Ghana Armed Forces today is afraid of an NPP parliamentary candidate. He no chop MP yet safe. The Armed Forces is afraid because he is from the Commander-in-Chief's party. Jesus Christ. And look, let's put this matter in proper context. It is not long ago that this country, we were all shocked. There was national upheaval over the killing of Major Maxwell Adam Mahama. We cannot forget. So it's not as if this is just empty talk, empty threat. It has happened before. In our recent history, Major Mahama, handsome, affable, young soldier, going on a harmless walk in a mining community. They thought he had come to pour sansan in their Galamsey gari. So they descended on him, lynched him. As we speak, the assemblyman and those who coordinated the lynching have been jailed, life imprisonment. So this is not a joke. This is a very dark spot in the history of our country, so far as military-civilian relations are concerned. So, faced with this current history, no Ghana Armed Forces official issuing a statement after such a reckless, absolutely incendiary statement from a so-called parliamentary candidate, somebody who is not even fit to be even an aspiring assemblyman, totally unfit. Such a person deserves to be behind bars. And the Ghana Armed Forces is trying to advise all of us. We in Northton, what have we done? Has anybody in Northton said that they should go and attack soldiers? Has the Tamale Central MP said that they should go and attack soldiers? Has anybody in the CPP, in Nana Jantua's party, said that soldiers should come under attack? Our butterfly friends, have they changed their symbol from the butterfly to some spear to go and attack soldiers? Hey! So, the impunity, the total misgovernance and recklessness of the commander-in-chief has so much put the fear, not of God, but the fear of hoodlums, of thugs in our Ghana Armed Forces that they cannot even call out. I want to salute Ghanaians who have roundly condemned. Look, the Ghana Armed Forces was enjoying a lot of sympathy. All of us said, oh, because of what happened to Maso Mahama, we cannot tolerate such statements. When they issue their statement, go and check what is happening now. Social media everywhere. They say, oh, these people, it doesn't look like they deserve our empathy. Whoever issued that statement, the earlier the Ghana Armed Forces put out a better statement and take steps to go and arrest that rogue, that thug, the better for their own image. It is in their own interest. Look, after Major Maxwell Mohammed's lynching, there was another incident in Ashama. You remember? Yeah. You remember? And all of us said that, look, this has to stop. Why are soldiers coming under attack? The soldiers themselves said that because of that, everybody they see in Ashama will be at the receiving end of their whipping. I do not support their reaction. They went overboard, whipped women, the aged, they were just assaulting everybody in sight. But you could tell that there was some sympathy. You felt that, look, the soldiers have had enough. After Major Maxwell Mahama, then another one in Ashaiman. So when you issue this statement, those who are in solidarity with you, what would they do? What would they do? So look, the Ghana Armed Forces should better put its house in order. Okay. They have to show courage, the courage we have always admired them for. Look, we expect that they will tell the commander-in-chief in the face that you told this country that you are putting your presidency on the line. Nobody put a gun to your head to say that. And so we are going to take action. This has been happening in recent times. We don't feel safe. We are going to make an example of that parliamentary candidate. That is what we expect. So that even if the commander-in-chief is not minded to act. Look, what is happening in this country increasingly, it has become so evident that anything Akufo-Addo says, take the opposite. Just forget about what you hear. Because look, one of the speeches he made that moved me was that I'll put my presidency on the line in the fight against Galamsey. I mean, I thought that we were going to see some action that we have never seen in this country. After he made that statement, that is when the floodgates were open rather. And you have heard the Professor Frimpong Boateng report. If you haven't read it, at least you've heard essence. And our brother Solomon has told you the names in there. And Professor Frimpong Boateng is standing by the report, damning report. And he says right at the presidency, they are at the center of Galamsey. Look, in any country, and you see that is why I feel so sad about the extreme partisanship in our parliament. If this was any other country, we would have been able to mobilize the 2/3 to impeach President Akufo-Addo. Immediately, just on Galamsey alone, the Galamsey fight, the Frimpong Boateng report, and this latest revelation. Comrade, when we were saying in Parliament that the 2.8 million they've come to ask for Operation Galamsey was too small, they should add to it and all of that. Not knowing they were deceiving us. That there is no operation anywhere. Galamsey is in full flight. And that is what the parliamentary candidate has put out. Why should President Akufo-Addo not be impeached? Anybody should explain to me why Akufo-Addo should not be impeached. Let's start the process now, and then you see the extreme partisanship. People are afraid of him. Look at what happened in the Kenufuriata case. Our colleagues held a press conference. 82 initially. Then later on, the majority leader of such chambers announced that all of them are now in it. They are all for Ken must go. We have the vote of censure. The matter is brought to Parliament. The people who initiated the process say they are walking out. They couldn't even trust themselves to stay and even vote for him. They said, oh, we are walking out. Can you believe that? So there's a lot wrong with our politics. Okay. No principle, no consistency, no truth. President says I'm putting my presidency on the line. It turns out that he's just deceiving all of us. Naked deception. The president has no scruples. He has no trustworthiness, no sincerity in him, no iota, no modicum of respect for the people, of dignity in him, no integrity. Absolutely no integrity whatsoever. What kind of president is this? And after so many days, and look, the president cannot tell us if he really has a functioning national security, if the national security apparatus is working. Before this video emerged, and we were told that this happened about 2 or 3 months ago, it is only now coming public. The national security should have picked this up. Because really, your chairman of Rêcklêss is there. Is in the meeting. Elsewhere, it is the president who will have fired the regional minister, the MCA, and addressed the country and told us why he has fired him. Do you know that under President Mahama, President Mahama, hearing of, he got a hint. Then I was at the Ministry of Education. We didn't even know as ministers that apparently at the National Service, they are padding the National Service list. An insider, somebody went to blow the whistle to him. That they are padding the National Service list so that at the end of every month, if you have to pay only 10,000 people, you pay 50,000. So the 40,000 balance. A few people at the top, at the National Service Secretariat, then share the money. President Mahama quietly asked the BNI to go in. You remember? They went in, and it was confirmed, identified the people who were doing it. To the very top. Immediately, they were rounded up, sent to court monies were retrieved. That is the kind of leadership that we expect, that we want to see. You think that any other president in our history, President Mahama, will have allowed this? Look at what happened to that DC who only said cheer and disrespected people at a gathering. He was promptly fired. Just for saying cheer. This DC, no, he's not even DC, this parliamentary candidate is inciting people, minors against, and you know how people mine. The kind of weapons they are using these days. Now they are not mining just with bare hands. The kind of AK-47, the kind of weapons we are seeing them holding. Those champagne and all of that. You are telling them that they should just go after the soldiers, beat them up and call for reinforcement while they are at it. And everybody is at post. The MC is at post. The regional minister is at post. They are rather being hailed. Even the armed forces is afraid of them. Hey! If the armed forces is afraid of these thugs, you can't mention one name and go after him and take action. Meanwhile, as I conclude, Senna, this is the same country where a sister security agency, only a few days ago, just last weekend, what kept all of us awake, that we didn't sleep? The parliamentary candidate for the NDC in the Kaswa area, they say that she had a licensed gun in her car. When they checked their records, they said there was a spelling mistake in her name. Meanwhile, they filled the forms, but they say spelling mistake. Phyllis, 1L, double L, spelling mistake. Because of that, they say, hey, the gun, we can't joke when it's a gun matter. They arrested her and held her for more than 24 hours. A lactating mother who had delivered not too long ago. I know her very well because I go there to campaign. She's invited me there on 2 occasions. So I know. Lactating mother. Held her. Not even protests from the party hierarchy. I saw Uncle Totobi Kwachik, Bevlo Latte, and others there. Omane Buama, National Chairman, General Secretary, organizers, Sami Jemfi, who didn't go, MPs and all of that. The police said, oh, you can even resurrect your founder. We won't mind you people. They kept her in there. Can you believe that? Over spelling mistake. This parliamentary candidate who is inciting that go after soldiers, beat them up, kill them. He is walking freely. They are only circulating fake news that he was asked to report. He has report to who and at where? They think that we are zombies. Where did he report to? Who arrested him? And yet Nakoyo of Kaswa was kept for more than 24 hours. Now, this is the same security apparatus as we speak. I didn't know that they care about spelling mistakes. They care about accuracy of names. I didn't know that. Because for years, I have been exposing the president's appointee at the National Cathedral Board of Trustees. The president's top appointee, his spiritual advisor, Reverend Victor Kusi-Boateng. This is a man who was appointed as Reverend Victor Kusi-Boateng, but unknown to all of us, has a second identity as Kwabena Edu Jemfi. We have since exposed all his national IDs. He has national IDs in different names, these 2 different names. He has a diplomatic passport. The foreign minister came to parliament to confirm to us that yes, they issued a diplomatic passport in the name Kwabena Edu Jemfi. Different mothers, different dates of birth, 2 years apart. Different things. He has 2 voter ID cards. In this coming election, I don't know how he's voting. Is he voting twice? Will he be allowed to vote as Victor Kusi-Boateng and vote again as Kwabena Edu Jemfi? Meanwhile, we are spending billions of dollars as a country on so-called digitalization. We say this is the era of digitalization. I have reported, ASEPA has also filed a complaint with the Ghana Police Service. He's untouchable. Nobody has arrested him. And this is a man many people don't know. On a daily basis, I am going to court. He rather has the effrontery, can you believe that? To drag me to various courts. He lost at the Human Rights Court. He hasn't given up. He's gone to criminal division that I have defamed him. He's gone to appeals court. He wants to catch me somehow. He rather. None of the judges can call the police that, hey, come and pick up this guy. Only the Human Rights Court judge said that, look, be careful. As you stand before me now, I don't even know whether you are Victor Kusi-Boati or Kwabena Edu-Jemfi. And then chided his lawyer that you should rather give him better advice. But he is still roaming in the courts. What kind of country is this? That double identity fraudsters, they rather have access to the courts. He went to court that I should be jailed, that I am exposing his IDs, as, violating his right to privacy. Can you believe that? In this country, the lawbreakers, the thugs, the hoodlums, they are protected. So this Amenfi East parliamentary candidate, nothing will happen to him. He will rather be embodied, applauded. And with this mindset of a parliamentary candidate, imagine how he's going to prosecute his campaign. Hey, I pity the NDC parliamentary candidate in that place and the butterfly parliamentary candidate and all of them. What? If even soldiers in uniform, this man and his boys are going to be beating them up, then you, ordinary parliamentary candidate, opponent of this guy, how will you survive? And are we going to allow this character, this hooligan, this hoodlum, this vagabond, this buccaneer, to contest the election? Are we going to allow that? Are we going to allow that? And the brand of the NPP, they are not worried that these are the parliamentary candidates they are presenting in a national election. They are not worried. National chairman hasn't spoken. The general secretary hasn't spoken. If the commander-in-chief clearly is such a deceptive despot that he won't act, and he has even cowed his armed forces into submission. So there's no elder in the NPP who is concerned about the brand. As I conclude, let me salute my colleague, MPP MP, and chairman of the Foreign Affairs Committee. I just read in the news, the Honorable Andy Apiakubi. He's one of the very few objective MPs they have. He has just said this morning on another station that what the parliamentary candidate has done is condemnable. And they have to call him and educate him. Even though I think he was a bit mad, he said it's inexperience and immaturity and all of that. It's more than that. The guy is a rogue and should not have been a candidate. But at least it's rare these days to have an MPP MP. And he's done what even the Ghana Armed Forces couldn't do. Okay. They couldn't call him out. So I want to commend the Honorable Andy Apiakubi for being objective and being honest. Okay. At least we have found one person in the NPP who has so far condemned what this gentleman has done. But I worry for the peace and stability of our country moving forward. Okay. With the kind of impunity, the protection of lawless elements that we are seeing.
Thank you very
much. PENDREAM TV. Now, so far so good. Say open online portal e Ghana. Nipa share, nipa follow, nipa comment here. To my best of knowledge, without any biases, PENDREAM TV.